What I'm trying to say in the final analysis, once we take control of ourselves, we have to stop being imitators and be innovators. And realize we've got a continent 12 million square miles. Wherever our bodies are on the face of this earth, our cultural and political heartbeat is in Africa. Whether you ever go to Africa or not, that is your home, that is the home of your spirit, and that is the heart and meaning and definition of your commitment. And none of us, any place in the world, will be free until that continent is free.
The Mossi Warrior clan was created because myself and others like Brother Nahisi saw a need for a young African group to analyze information concerning the African phenomena with no bias, with rigor, and with scholarship. We created the Mossi Warrior clan for the purpose of being an expert research team, of being a team that produced products, a team that was capable of producing products for African people globally to dispel myths, rumors, and provide them with accurate scholarship.
and he was like, I don't debate y'all. Y'all too disrespectful. Aboriginal Power won't even debate Sean because he too disrespectful.
He is though. No, he really is though. I can't really like you, bro. You cool. Not a coincidence. I actually chop it up, but niggas that come off too heated and disrespectful, like I said, I'll debate you, bro. But we gotta get in the ring first. If you want to be disrespectful like that, at least disrespect me in the ring, bro. Let's start now, bro. Can you disrespect me in a cage, bro? Like, I'd rather just do that. Then we go straight from the cage. I mean, put your ice on the way to the motherfucking computer, and we'll debate directly after that, nigga. Shit.
That's why I don't even be. Fucking with the nigga and shit. You feel me? Like, it's like, wait, bro, talk like that. We gotta get face to face with you to talk to you like that, my nigga.
Yeah, Peanut. You feel me? That's the truth. Go ahead, I got my brother already. Peanut, what's the word, my brother?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, but Lucky, let me say this, man. First of all, I'm an older brother. I'm young in spirit because I stay in shape. But I'm older. I deserve respect. Don't lie on me. You're not going to get nowhere lying because that's what's going to make you fall face first. Second of all, I'm well known in the Pan-African community. I'm not nobody new. You're younger than me. You don't know this. I didn't put in work and expose Rob Bourne, Sutek, any of them people over there. They know it deep down inside. And I'm gonna be long-winded. I'm a Moorish American. I already had back and forth with them dude. They erased videos. I'm not running from anybody. Don't ever say that stupid shit again. Third, and last but not least, I'm not losing no debate to no Pan-African. So don't ever say that shit again, famo. And that's it. Appreciate y'all, man.
You heard that? If Sean P want to debate, tell him to debate the champ over there, right?
Sutek wanted so this like it's a pecking order. It's a pecking. So Sean want you, and Sutek want him. You say PMF ain't
It's no problem. It's no problem, man. Let's set up the Sutek debate, man. I don't like him anyway.
Okay, so I love that one, brother. I love that warrior mentality.
That's how it's going. I love you. Tell Sutek. Tell me. There ain't nothing. My champ always in the chat. Album pop in. We'll set a topic. We'll set a date. We'll make it pay-per-view. We'll chop it up behind the scenes. I get their contact. We make it work. You heard it right here. He ain't ducking no phase, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. He do this over here on y'all channel, and then when we get in other
hey, alright, I will block your ass, nigga, because I'm well known for disrupting them chats over there, nigga. Stop fucking lying, nigga. You a goofy, nigga. I would never let a lame ass nigga lie on me in my face, clown.
You gonna block me? And I don't be
it ain't no time I ain't ever been on the Pan-African channel and made my impact. Stop lying. I'm a real man, bro. Stop lying, fam. Don't do PNF like that.
PNF, he trying to trigger you, brother.
Word the fuck up.
But listen, he did that to me, talking about, oh, word on the street, I'm ducking from John P. I've never even had but one conversation with this little disrespectful motherfucker.
Oh, okay, yeah, he a little hot. He like that.
No, he like
family, but y'all ain't find y'all own genealogy. Shut the fuck up. That don't make sense for one. Listen, y'all don't know what y'all did.
I don't feel like you standing on business.
Y'all lied on me because y'all don't even know if that's me. And if y'all can trace that shit back to it's me, it's only 2 people in YouTube that got my information.
Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of meat. After this track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us honestly. You ain't a Cherokee, nope. You ain't a Chickasaw, nope. You ain't a Blackfoot, nope. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Call that Abos slipping with his genealogy. Now died by its own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of the track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us possibly. You ain't a Cherokee, no. You ain't a Chickasaw, no. You ain't a Blackfoot, nigga get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an apple slipping off his genealogy. Now he's a con. OTK. TKO. Now he's a con. OTK. You died. TKO. Genealogy.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sean P in the place to be. Late night with the Mossi. Yeah, you late night with me, man. The reason that we live, cause not a coincidence, ended this show. He said he was ending it. He sent me a message, but of course we was handling V-Not in the back chat, and he was making claims about who his people is, and then saying that the evidence that we were using to argue the existence of or the relationship of John Horse was white people sources, and it was wrong. So we asked him for his information, which we knew he couldn't provide. He was very emotional, and everybody was a bunch of names. So because everybody was a bunch of names, and he think that this information is incorrect, I decided to run this show back to deal with John Horse. Now he gonna come and he might switch it up and then go to Negro Abraham and all of that. And we're gonna be ready for Negro Abraham too, because we have the Negro Abraham information as well. He claims to be a Seminole, right? We're not claiming that. He's making the claim that he's Seminole. So we're asking him for his evidence, because all the people that he's referring to that are so-called Seminoles are people of African ancestry, right? And even if they're not fully of African ancestry, they are telling you that these people wholeheartedly are mixed. So the reason that we're here tonight is because we're going to get into some stuff. But before I get into the stuff I need to get into, I need to score this touchdown. Then I get into it. But let's see, man. Who we got in the chat, man? EIE was good. Kingdom was good. Jay was good. Okay, I see PE number 1 is in the building. Even Andy is in this motherfucker to some capacity. Yep. Yeah, man. So we're just gonna deal with it how we need to deal with it. We ain't gotta do all of the tongue wrestling and all of those shit. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna get to the information, man. Excuse my language. So, end of the first quarter. Man, come on, man. Like the show, share the show. I know it's late night. People gotta work tomorrow, but your boy live. Dang, we already got more views than V-Not got on his channel. He did all that talking about views and ain't nobody watching it and this, that, and the third. And we got more views than you, homeboy. We already got more views than you, homeboy. Man to man. Man to man. Bruh, get off the jam. So y'all don't know how, hey, this game right here is like that. I ain't even gonna cap to you. This game is like that. Yep. I could have been playing this, minding my business, you know what I mean, or watching TV. I could have been reading a book, because there's a book that I'm interested in reading. A new book at that. Come on, man. Football season right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? All them people that were talking crazy online, on social media, talking that mess about Colorado. I want all that energy. All the energy y'all had all summer. All last year. Then that we back round. I want all the energy. Do not let them boys rip off 4, 5 in a row. I'm telling you. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. It's gonna be a problem. Everybody not respecting the roster. So look. So I'm finna show y'all something right now. All my sources in the description of the video. So this is this article right here. I know we talking about John. We gonna get into John Horse, but I just wanted to share some stuff with y'all real quick. So if you can read the page right there, right? You can read it. This nigga threw an interception to me already. Oh yeah, you finna get blew out. Yeah, y'all finna get blew out. But y'all can see the screen right there, right? Primary sources, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only dealing with primary sources, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm showing y'all this to let y'all know what type of conversation we're about to have. It's going to be a very intellectual conversation. Now, in the words of V-Not is going to say, you're using the white man sources, good reading ass nigga, just because you can read good, yada, yada, yada type stuff. That's what he said. He was talking real crazy to us. Wait till Cali come in the chat. He going to tell you. The dude called us good readers, said that we're using the white man source, said all that. All that. And then he gonna say that he talked to the people. That's what he said. He said he talked to the people. People don't say that they are of African descent. That's what he said. Not me saying it. That's him saying it. So I just want everybody to know that. But this is we're going to have an intellectual conversation. We're only going to deal with the best of the best, right? Now, I provided this information, this link available to y'all, so nobody can run away with not knowing where to have something when you're having an intellectual conversation with whoever, whenever, however, wherever, right? And this goes through stages and phases. Stages and phases. I want y'all to look at that for a second. Stages and phases. Like, I don't play no games with this information, bro. I don't know who y'all thought I was, bro. I don't know who y'all thought I was, but I deal with it. Right? Freedom on the move. Freedom suits cases files. Rebellion. Oh, look who this is. John Horse. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Who is that? John Horse. This is what I mean right here, right? You got somebody who emotional on a whole nother show with a whole nother group of people talking crazy. And because he's talking crazy, now he's in the box. Why is he in the box? Because Sean don't play that. So I'm going to click on this first because I just established that we're dealing with primary evidence. So this is going to be everything about John Horse and the Black Seminoles, the first black rebels to beat American slavery. Let me zoom in just so everybody can see it. Remember, I said primary sources, right? So now he gonna tell us that this dude is not African. He gonna say it don't even say it in your title. He gonna come up with 1,000 ways to not understand and respect what's going on. So I'm gonna bag back a little bit. Learn about the slave rebellion, the country try to forget. We can go to an overview, deal with some little general information. Whatever we want to do right here, we got John queued up, and I got some additional information that I'm going to get into it with everybody, so you know. So now y'all know that we dealing with primary evidence. This nigga threw another pick. I bet you they call pass interference. Yep, I'm finna teach y'all. Yep, they call pass interference. So we're gonna click on the first. We're gonna click on this one picture, right? So we'll talk about slave rebellion, story synopsis. What is a map? Facts. Let's go to story synopsis. Story synopsis: the quest for freedom changed American history. Right? The heart of this site is the trail narrative. Look at that. Origins of the Black. What? Seminoles. Oh. Where you at, V Not? Where you at, V Not? Come on, bro. Where you at, V Not? Come on. I need you in the chat. I know you're listening. Cause you was just mad. Sending threads talking about don't talk about your family and all this all other shit. You was doing all that, bro. Don't run. Flynn, listen, though not widely known, the story of Black Seminoles is deeply rooted. Deeply in fabric of American history. Fleeing plantations in the American South, slaves first began making their way to Spanish Florida in the late 1600s, when Spain offered freedom to the fugitives who agreed to defend the Spanish crown. So how did the Black people get there? They fled. Where did they flee from? Slavery. Where into? Spanish Florida. Why? Because they offered them freedom to defend the Spanish crown. Just north of St. Augustine, Black refugees from British America founded the settlement of Mossi. The first legally sanctioned free Black town in North America. Mossi. Where Juju at? Cause we talking about her area right here. By the 1780s, Black fugitives were forming strategic alliances with another set of newcomers to Florida. Who? Another set of what? Newcomers from Florida, Seminole Indians. Okay, so now we got the Black people, right? We got the Black people, and then we got the Seminole Indians who migrated from Georgia and Alabama. Okay. The American Revolution of 1775 drove the Blacks and Indians closer together in Florida, and after the British pursued alliances with the rebels all along the American frontier, when England offered freedom to rebellious American slaves in 1775, thousands crossed over, choosing British freedom over American ideals. Hundreds of the Black rebels joined the Seminoles and other frontier Indians in the fight against the Americans. Most of the pro-British Blacks left Florida after British lost and the revolution ended in 1782. Excuse me. But scores remain behind. By the early 1800s, the fugitives were emerging as a distinct community known as the Maroons. So now we know that these people are Maroons. We should already know this because we didn't BB note on this several times before. And Indian Negroes. They were initiating ties of Florida Indians, ties that would eventually cause them to be known as the Seminole Negroes, or today, Black Seminoles. Who are the Black Seminoles? Motherfuckers who escaped slavery. Yep. So, I want to go right here. 1 second, y'all. I want to go right here to John Horse. Because that's really what we want to just talk about. We don't want to talk about nobody else. We want to talk about John. Yeah, we want to talk about John. And the reason we want to talk about John, because V-Not was so emotional. I'm talking about he talked for 45 minutes while somebody else was talking and could nobody hear. And we didn't even care. We just kept talking over him. We just kept talking over him and over him and over him and over him. But anyway, can y'all see that? I try to zoom in the way y'all can see it a little bit. Y'all can see that? We cool? Everybody good? All right, let's cook. All right, so John Horse, he's the reason why we're here. An American freedom fighter. Now, the life of John Horse structures the trail narrative. stands as a consummate expression of Black Seminoles' 19th century odyssey. Though not widely known, this Black pioneer's life forms one of the most heroic chapters of frontier America, and a Homeric hymn to the ideals, injustices, and complexities of American experiment. He was born in Spanish Florida in 1812, allegedly mixed African and Indian ancestry. I'm going to give you this word right here, allegedly, which is used by the source. And then we're going to get into it. John Horace rose to prominence during the Second Seminole War. Several times during the conflict, and daring exploits sparked new life in Allied Seminole resistance. By 1837, he led the Black portion of the uprising in the Climatic Battle of the Lake Okeechobee. More than any other leader, his actions helped produce the promise of freedom that the U.S. Army extended to Black rebels to close out their portion of war. I don't even care about nothing else that's going on with John Horace, but it is available for those of you who may be a little bit, interested in John Horace. I'm just trying to set the table. Oh, y'all couldn't see my source. My bad. Why y'all ain't say nothing, bro? Y'all just got me talking and I ain't said nothing. So this is basically everything that I said about John Horace from this source initially. Okay. I just read all this part right here. Okay. Allegedly mixed African and Indian ancestry. So I'm going to bring you here to a whole nother John, to the same person. In his lifetime, he fought a sub-chief, Second Seminole War, decorated military guy. He defended the free Black settlements of 3 frontiers, spent most of his life on a quest to secure a free homeland for his people in Mexico. Not Oklahoma, in Mexico. Right? So this goes down and talks about the Wawonka Creek tributaries and how they do shit. And even tell a little bit about Oklahoma. All right, they just let you know we got this in case we need this in a minute. We got a JSTOR article over here that we can read online for free because I'm signed into my account like a G. Yep. And it's right here. And let's just get a little bit of this. This is by Philip Thomas Tucker. He gonna say it's a white man, white man, white man. I ain't gonna go too far. I'm just gonna sprinkle this first couple of this paragraph. Throughout the annuals of American history, much of the role of African Americans has been seriously neglected or misrepresented by historians. The Seminole War is no exception to this rule. While defiant Indian leaders like Osceola and Billy Bowlegs have become well known and famous for fighting heroically against the might of the United States Army, other key leaders have been ignored. This negligence of important resistance leaders has been greatest in regard to those war chiefs who were not Indian but Black, who were not Indian but Black, who were not Indian but Black. That boy good. Indeed, one of the most forgotten, but most important, leaders of the Seminole War was the fiery and capable John Horace, who was an African American. Okay, so another source points to him having African ancestry. As stated, if you want to know more, I give you the sources. It tells you at the beginning. So let's go a little bit further. Let's go to Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma now. The Oklahoma Cipher Historical Society. We're having primary conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Primary. John Horace, Black Seminole leader John Horace, was born in Florida. He was a Seminole slave of an African American. a Seminole, slave of African American and American Indian and Spanish descent. There you go. So he got a little bit Spanish in him. He got a little bit American Indian in him. And he got a little bit of African American in him. I ain't got to say no more. I ain't got to say no more. This coming from Oklahoma. He fought alongside and with the black people who he related to the most because he was of mixed ancestry. So why are we playing this game? Why are we playing this game? Why are we playing this game? So I'm going to take it a step further. Where V Nachalocious at? Where you at? Where you at, bro? What role did runaway slaves and free African Americans play in the Second Seminole War? Then here goes an answer to the question over here, and it provides us information about John Horse and the Black Seminoles because they're talking about an African American's role in the Second Seminole War. Oh, we're going to play dumb? When I said we're dealing with primaries, we're dealing with primaries. You going to blame these on the white people? You see, Vasa? You going to blame these on the white people, bro? Is that what we doing? So all this information right here, we're going to blame on the white people. We can go further and talk about the guy. But are we going to talk, listen, is we going to make it about the white people, bro? That's all I want to know. Real quick, like work right there. I ain't even got to share no more. Anybody got contention with the John Horse being of African descent? Anybody, and I mean anybody, can make me pause my game and give y'all this work. I put the link in the chat because I'm about to smoke. I'm about to smoke. Link. Yeah. Come on, dumb nigga. Yeah. I know you was watching.
You're wrong once again.
I know you was watching.
You're wrong.
I know you was watching.
You're wrong once again.
I know you was watching. Look at you. Can't even keep a straight face. You might want to cut your camera off.
No, I ain't
You might want to cut your camera off.
I ain't got to cut my camera off.
You might want to do that.
No, I ain't got to do that.
You might want to do that.
No,
You're looking real goofy.
I ain't got to.
You're looking real goofy. I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
Only thing you do.
I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
You did the same
Now, I
thing
just showed that John Horse was of African descent.
He's a good reader.
5 sources. 5 sources.
You did the same thing that I said you was going to do.
No, what you mean? That's the evidence.
That's not
I showed primary evidence. Do you know what primary evidence is?
Show me the slave.
Do you know what primary evidence is?
Show me, yeah, slave on the record.
Do you know what primary evidence is?
Slave on the record.
Do you know what primary evidence is?
Slave on
Do you know? No, answer the question. Do you know what primary evidence is? Yes or no? Do you know what primary evidence is? Do you know what primary? We just did.
Was the slave on the records?
We just did.
Was the slave on the records in the 17 and 1800s?
He was of African descent.
What was the slave on the
African descent?
Where's the slave on the records at?
African descent.
Okay. Where's the slave on the records?
We don't need to put no slave owners records up, bro. We don't. We don't need no slave owner records. What are we talking about? We're talking about who he was. You said that he ain't. So where's your evidence to refute my evidence? Because I showed my shit.
Yeah, because we're not finding your evidence. Your evidence don't exist. You just using your word. But your word don't count.
Paperwork back then, right?
Your word, show us the record that refutes that he was of African descent.
Show me them slave owners.
No, you have to show us evidence that he wasn't of African descent. Cause that's all the information is showing, bro.
Don't say nothing, Callie. Don't say nothing, Callie. Don't say nothing, Callie. Let them keep on. Let them keep on. Where your source at, bro? All we want is your source. Can you show us a source? That's it.
Nah, he not gonna show shit.
Can you show us a source? Show us a source to say he an Indian. Show us a source to say he an Indian.
He want to do nigga battle.
Show us a source to say he Indian.
For extraordinary claims.
Cut your camera off,
You're making the claim, bro. You're going against his historical information.
What's good, Manny?
The historical record says he was a man of African descent. You're gonna have to show us evidence that debunks that. You haven't, what you have never done.
He ain't got none. The he say she say is him. He's the leader of the he say she say.
You know what this whole thing is about, these Abos, Sean? They always want to go against the historical record, but then they want you to prove what the historical record already says.
He's the owner of the he say she say. Yep. He has no facts, none. Where your facts at, buddy? Hey, Callie, can you do me a favor? You can share your screen, right?
Oh, I gotta go back on my computer. I gotta go back on my computer. I got off of it when he left, and I went to my phone. But I can always plug.
Hold on, Vito. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, Vito. We heard what you said. We heard what you said, Vito. You said you want to see some. You said you want to see some records, right? That what you said? You want to see the records?
He want to see records, but never show no records. That'd be the funny shit, right?
You said you want to see records, right? I'm just trying to gain an understanding. You want to see records? Shake your head. You want to see records? Shake your head. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me just go this touchdown real quick. I'm gonna show you the records, and don't run either. Don't run either. Nah, don't run either. Don't run. I'm gonna smack you on here, and then I'm gonna smack you in real life.
I'm just laughing though. This dude has never shown a primary source in his life.
I'm gonna smack you on here, and then I'm gonna smack you in real life. On your mama.
Vino over there looking like this nigga like 88% African, trying to talk about he black Indian. Nigga.
I told him he need to cut his camera off because he embarrassing himself. Goofy ass nigga embarrassing himself.
Nigga, you over there looking Ebo, bro.
That boy
nigga, look like a whole Ebo.
That boy got problems.
Nigga look like an Ebo.
Hold on. What you say? A real who coming through? Manny out here on deck saying a real Indian coming through. Woo, Manny. Talking tough.
Look at this.
Manny's a real Indian.
Vino look Ebo. Vino look Ebo. Vino got a whole Ebo face. Talking about he Indian. Your face and told the truth. You West African. Vino West African. You can't even undo this too. Sean got the record now of your face. So I mean, your picture don't do you justice. Well, now we know you even more. You look more African with the camera on.
I told him cut his camera off. He didn't want to listen. The women in the chat is looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you claim that you're a real Seminole, but you can't be.
Nah, this nigga look like, bro. Come on, tell me he don't have a whole West African face. Heavy West African face.
Yeah, hold on. Let me hold on. Let me just get this nigga up out of here real quick. Let me get them all up out of here real quick. We get the evidence directly. Listen. So let me go back to my source. Let me go back to my source and slow walk it real quick. Let me slow walk it real quick. Where that? Boom, boom, boom.
He about to give you a painful. He about to give you a painful death. That's what it is. Make sure it's painful.
There we go. So we know what they say. This guide will help you find resources relevant to this course. Home, primary sources. Primary sources by geographic area. Primary sources by topic. Biographies, narratives, blah, 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 blah. This even got secondary sources. This first box is primary sources.
He don't know what a secondary or for a primary source is, though, Sam.
Name shows up, huh?
He don't know what a primary, secondary, or tertiary source is. He don't know what that is. You know.
Nah, we know he don't. We know he don't know. But I'm just trying to give you. I'm trying to give you some game, V-Note. Like you come on here and you get to talking, and we just keep on going, bro. We just gonna keep on going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna click right back on your boy again, just so you know I ain't playing. I'm gonna click right back on your boy again. What did you talking about? What's the trail narrative? Do you know that? Do you know the trail narrative? This source will give you more information. Take us right over here about the early years, and it's gonna tell us a little bit about. Look, this is what's so funny. The early years of John Horse chart the emergence of Black Seminoles and the escalation of their conflict with the United States. Resisting American slavery, the Maroons formed fascinating partnerships with Seminole Indians, adopting aspects of Indian culture and fusing it with African traditions. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that hurts. That's painful. That African word again. Is that an African word again? Is that this word African again in there?
Yeah. So from the year of John Horse's birth, however, paradise was under threat as American slaveholders looked south with anger. The Americans were led by the most powerful man of this era, General Jackson. Let me go on. Let me get you over here. Watch this Afro-Indian culture. John Horse's mother was what? What was John Horse's mother?
She was African. She was African American.
John Horse's mother. What was John Horse's mother?
African American.
Look at my screen.
What is African mother?
Look at my screen. Look at it, nigga.
African woman.
Look at it, nigga.
Yeah, John was an African woman.
Look at it, nigga. Read it.
African
read it to
woman.
you. Read it to yourself. I'm gonna keep the screen right there.
John Horse's mother was an African woman whose name was lost to history. His father and master was Charles Cavallo, and a Seminole Indian. Ooh. The birth name Cavallo revealed the hybrid nature of John Horse's world, where Spanish and English mingled freely with the Hichiti and Muskogee, written variously as Caballo, Kawaya, or Koja. The name was probably a variant on the Hittite word Kiowa and horse. John Horse, used later in his life, now was how Black Seminoles would come to remember their future leader. Black Seminoles and somebody who was of African descent. Devastating.
Read that one more time for him. Read that one while he's smiling.
John Horse's mother was an African woman. John Horse's mother was an African woman. African. She was an African woman.
What was his daddy?
His daddy was Indian. He said so. He said now. What's it? It was make a distinction, right? Was Charles Caballo a Seminole Indian? A Seminole Indian. See, there's a distinction between the two: an African woman and an Indian man. He said the birth name Cavallo revealed the hybrid nature of John Horse's world, where Spanish and English mingled freely with Hichiti and Muskogee, written variously as Caballo, Kaiwaya, or Koja. The name was probably a variant on Hichiti word Kaiwe for horse. John Horse, used later in his life, was how Black Seminoles would come to remember their future leader. But John Horse's mother was an African woman. An African woman. An African woman. There's nothing you can do. You can laugh, you can joke, but none of the sources support what you've been saying is that he was something other than what he was. Every source you find on the internet refers to this man as someone who was of African, said somebody who was mixed, right? Mixed. African and indigenous. Here we
There
go.
are no descriptions of John Horse before adolescence,
Yep.
but his appearance, like his name, must have revealed a mixed heritage, which we are not denying. Describing him as an adult with adults, white observers classed him as Negro, but noted a mixture of ethnic features, including black skin, long and straight black hair, Seminole clothing, tall erect posture, and just a smile of red blood mantling to his
Hold on,
forehead.
Sean. How many full-blooded black people have straight long hair? We don't see that, right? We only see straight long hair for the most part in the Americas and Asia, right? Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a genetic mutation?
Look at that boy over there trying to talk.
Isn't that Sean? Isn't that when you call that a genetic mutation?
Yeah.
That straight hair? That's a rare gene, right?
Yeah, it's rare.
Woo! And who is it rare in? Who is it only found in?
People over here.
Woo! So, Vino, you don't have nobody like that in your family. That's a mutation that proves they were first. Woo. Read this. Again, John Horse was born a slave, but in 1812, Seminole bondage was radically different from Southern-style slavery. Under the Seminoles' loose system, slaves and free blacks lived in their own towns, often at a considerable distance from Indian masters. The blacks built villages on the same model as the Indians, living in chickees, elevated palmetto plank homes adapted to foreign climate and topography. Blacks elected their own leaders and in general conducted themselves more like military allies than slaves. Blacks. Look at that. Once again, what I just read, Sean, were they just making a distinction? Again? Weren't they just making a distinction between the two groups? We're talking about blacks and Indians. I mean, if black people and Indians are the same thing, why are they talking about them like they're two separate groups? I'm just confused by this. V-Note?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Well, unless you have European in your family. V-Not is V-Ho.
V-Note, no matter what you read, nothing supports your claim.
This look at this idiot. Ain't nothing Indian about your big four-headed ass. You ain't got the cheekbones, lip structure, or genetic admixture to even make that claim.
No, and he's bald, which is very common, right? Very common in people in West Africa. That's a common trait.
I hate to do this to this dude, bro, but he just keep on talking that shit like a nigga don't know shit. That nigga was a slave, nigga. Read it for yourself. Read it. That's all you gotta do. I ain't got to argue.
It don't help you. You said you wanted to see it, Vino. I don't know why. You want to argue, but you can never show sources that say what you say. Whenever you show your sources, and it's clear that you're stupid because you show sources that debunk you, and then you go on to say you want. It just doesn't make any sense. So you see that contrast to the other Southeastern Indians, right? Because this source is hurting you. Yeah, whatever. In contrast to the other Southeastern Indians, the Seminoles practiced a form of slavery that was totally unique across all North America. The Seminole system had no slave codes or harsh mechanisms for punishment. Black Seminoles did not work for their masters on a daily basis. In general, they were simply required to render annual tribute and to be available to defend the community. General Edmund Gaines, who knew the system as well as any white man, described it as a primitive form of feudalism. The Maroons, he said, served as black vassals and allies of the Indians. Gad Humphreys, the government agent to the Seminoles in the 1820s, called the blacks slaves, but in name. They work only when it suits their inclination. Lieutenant George McCall seconded these observations after visiting a black village in 1826. They are chiefly runaway slaves from Georgia who have put themselves under. I don't know if you got push it up so I can read a little bit more. Sean, there. Protection of Micanopy or some other chief.
Canopy.
What is it called?
Canopy. It's the dude.
McConaughey. Yeah, McConaughey. McConaughey. Okay. The protection on McConaughey or some other chief whom they call master, and to whom for this consideration they render a tribute of 1/3 of the produce of the land and 1/3 of the horse, cattle, and fowl they may raise. Otherwise, they are free to go and come at pleasure. I don't know how this helps you, Vino. Vino, how does this help you, bro? Vino, how does this help you? Because I know you ain't gonna show nothing. So how does this help you? This stuff hurts you, man. Ain't nothing about this source. These sources don't help you at all. You can't pull nothing up. Even when you go to someone's blog, even when you pull up blogs, even when you pull up newspaper articles I'm talking about from the 21st century, they're still referring to John Horace as someone of African descent. Whether it's the Florida Sentinel, whether it's dealing with newspapers out of Oklahoma, even your newspapers out of Oklahoma are saying this man was of African descent. MSNBC articles, no matter what we pull up, it all refers to John Horace as a man of African descent. Primary sources, secondary, tertiary sources, when people are deciding to write about him as for History Month, for Black History Month, they refer to this man of African descent. Why isn't anybody making your claim? And when are you going to actually show a source to support your? Oh yeah, you can't because it doesn't exist. He's still up there, Sean? I can't see him. He's still up there or he left?
I don't know. Yeah, he got to be here talking to himself. Yeah, he talking. Look at him. Trying to talk over. Look at him. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga.
He been talking the whole time.
No, don't say nothing. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Look at him.
Talking over everybody, bro. Why don't you ever shut up?
If Dom was a person, this is what Dom look like. Look at him. He cussing and everything. Look at him. Can't control himself.
This one for the book.
You can't get over the evidence. Look at you.
Nope.
Fucking shame.
Over talking everybody, but can't. Over talking everybody, but can't show shit.
You ain't talking source yet. You ain't showed nothing.
Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
Let me continue. Let me continue debunking you.
I know it's painful, but we know one thing: you ain't gonna pull up shit.
What you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do.
Hold on. When he do tell you to direct you to a source, it's gonna debunk him. And ain't that pretty pathetic? Every time he direct us to a source, has a source ever helped him? Ever, Sean?
Hey, Callie, just read that to him.
All right.
Read that to
him.
Here
we go. The Afro-Indian culture. Here we go. The culture that John Horace was born into was an evolving mixture of African, Indian, Spanish, and slave traditions. Let me repeat this again. The culture that John Horace was born into was an evolving mixture of African, Indian, Spanish, and slave traditions. Maroons adopted some forms of material culture from the Seminole Indians, including living in chickees, wearing Seminole clothing, straining kunti, a native root, and making sofki, a paste created by mashing corn with mortar and pesty. Living apart from Indians, however, the Maroons appear to have developed their own unique African-American culture. Look at that. Man! Look, you see that? Do you see that, Vino? Once again, it said, however, the Maroons appear to have developed Maroons, because you tried to say they're Indians in the past. The Maroons appear to have. Now, why would the Maroons develop their own African American culture if they're Indians? Why would Sean? Do you know why? Why would a Maroon develop African American culture, their own African American culture? Because why would they want to do that? Because they're Indians, right? They're not African. They're Indian, but they're going to develop an African American culture as Indians. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. What about anybody in the chat? Do y'all understand why why Maroons would develop an African American culture if they're Indian? Does anybody get that? Does that make any sense? Because Vino says that Maroons are Indian. So if Maroons are Indian, why are they developing their own African American culture? Just saying. Just doesn't make any sense. You just don't have, it just doesn't side with you. So I'm gonna read this again, Vino. I know I got to read over you because you keep talking. The culture that John Horse was born into was an evolving mixture of African, Indian, Spanish, and slave traditions. The culture that John Horse was born into, you understand it, right? It says the culture that John Horse was born into was an evolving mixture of African, Indian, Spanish, and slave traditions. Maroons adopted some forms of material culture from the Seminole Indians, So they borrowed from the Seminole. That's a distinction. They're talking about they're borrowing something from another group. So they're letting you know that these black folks are borrowing from Indian groups, right? And so here we go, right? So some Indian Indians, including living in chickees, wearing Seminole clothing, straining kunti, a native root, making soft key, a paste created by mashing corn with mortar and pesty. Living apart from Indians, however, the Maroons appear to have developed their own unique African American culture. Why would they do that, Vino? It doesn't hurt. I know it hurts.
What's African about that?
You said African American culture? Well, it just happened to say African American. So, I mean, why would it be African American if it's
what's African American?
Why would Indians develop African American culture?
He's mixed, man. He's African, Indian, and Spanish. Listen,
about eating native
you said that he was Indian. He's African, Indian, and Spanish. Yep. So, and his mother was an African slave. His mother was an African slave.
Okay.
I just showed you 6
documents.
Okay, let me keep on. Let me keep on.
So you telling me
one more time?
Niggas came from the east side of Georgia all the way down there to West Florida?
One more time for the people in the rear. Can you see the screen? I know you can see the screen.
So here we go. African Indian culture. The culture may have been most visible to black Seminole towns, which bore the stamp of their African origins. The culture may have been most visible in black Seminole towns, which bore the stamp of their African origins. African origins. African. You like Africa, bro? African. Hold on, Vino. You hear that? African. Vino, listen to this. Listen to that word. Vino, hear that? African. Vino, African, right? Vino, African? Hey, hold on. Let's read it again. Afro-Indian culture. Spell pseudo. Spell pseudo.
Keep reading. It's from a primary source.
The culture, I know you can't spell it. The culture may have been most visible in black Seminole towns, which bore the stamp of their African origins. By John Horse's youth, Maroons had established more than a dozen settlements in Florida where they maintained a distinct cultural identity. Place names like Mulatto's Girl Town, Piliclacakaha, and Buckra, Woman's Town. Buckra, that's an African word, means white, and Buckra's Woman's Town all revealed a strong black influence. Maroons are also believed to have named the Suwannee River from African phrase Subwanal to Bantu for my house, my home. Woo! Bantu. You hear that? Do you hear that? Bantu. 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 The Bantu word. I know you know what Bantu means, right? Vino?
One more time.
Bantu.
Watch this. Watch this.
Here we go. Afro-Indian culture. In terms of spirituality, the ethnic groups remain distinct. Indians followed the nativistic principle of the Great Spirit, and blacks inclined toward a syncretic form of Christianity inherited from the plantations. In general, blacks never wholly adopted Seminole culture and belief, nor were they accepted into Native American society. The Indians did not consider their black allies to be Seminoles. Black headmen were occasionally admitted into Seminole bands and given bus names, but this was an exception, generally in exchange for valuable services. Once again, make it a distinction, and look, you see the differences in cultural practices.
Or is they doing their own? I mean,
hey, keep this right here, though, Callie. Keep this right here. We talking about Afro-Indian culture in Florida. So look what this says, though. Look what this says, V-noted. You got boogers in your nose. Look at this real quick.
Rather, black Seminoles appear to have drawn most of their customs from the slave cultures of the Deep South and traces directly from Africa. In the legacy of plantations, for instances, weddings featured a broom jumping ceremony. A host of practices echoed Africa, such as the use of African names, ring shouts, call response form of worship. The importation of African slaves did not become illegal in the U.S. until 1807, and the continent was a living memory for many members of John Horse's community. Woo! You like that, Vino?
Yeah,
referring to this fact, this man's community was African, bro. His community was African. His community was African. His community was African.
Horse family didn't write that.
Rather, black Seminoles appear to have drawn most of their customs from slave cultures of the Deep South, which traces directly from Africa. In legacy of plantations, for instance, weddings featured a broom jumping ceremony. A host of practices echoed Africa, such as the use of African names, ring shouts, and call response form of worship. The importation of African slaves did not become illegal in the U.S. until 1807, and the continent was a living memory for many members of John Horse's community.
Let's keep it Gullah. Let's keep it Gullah now.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, you heard me say let's keep it Gullah, so I hit next.
Language was another reflection of black Seminoles' distinct hybrid culture. Their dialect reflected strong ties to both the plantations and Africa, while delineating the Maroons from their Indian allies. Black interpreters mastered the Hitchiti and Muskogee dialects, but their personal languages remained Afro-Seminole, a variant of English that was strongly related to Gullah and the dialect of Sea Islanders along the Carolina, Georgia coast. Like Gullah, Afro-Seminole incorporated words from Spanish, English, and Muskogee, also Bantu and other African languages. Bantu and other African languages, also Bantu and other African languages. You hear that, Vino? Also Bantu and other African languages, Vino. How you like that one? Vino. Also Bantu and other African language. You like that African word again? African is there again. Vino? I know you like that, right? Say shout out to Africa, Vino. Accept your African ties, baby. Accept your African ties.
Hey, no. See, Vino. Watch this, Vino. Let's go one step further.
I'm ready to read it too.
What this say right here, Kelly? Can you see that?
At the time of John Horse's birth, the Black Seminoles were isolated geographically.
Geographically,
But they were well aware of the political realities. Hold on, but they were well aware of the political realities surrounding world, particularly the American South. Most of the Maroons were, after all, refugees and descendants of refugees from chattel slavery. These men and women had personal knowledge of the institution's brutal nature and their vastly preferable life in Spanish Florida. Unfortunately for them, the slaveholders of Georgia and South Carolina were equally aware of their favorable situation. You hear that?
Yeah, did
you understand that, right?
I was with John Horse.
John Horse, Africa, bro. When you do John Horse, we do Horse. The name is Africa. When you say Horse, the name's Africa.
Got a sister named
Horse in Africa, bro. Enjoy that. Accept that. Embrace Africa, bro. Embrace Africa. You gotta embrace Africa, bro. John Horse. The sources keep showing you John Horse is tied to Africa, bro.
The family ain't saying this.
No.
The family is not saying this.
John Horse was of African descent, bro.
The family is not saying
the whole family was African descent. Show us, bro. No, I want you to show us. Show us a source, bro. That debunks it.
We dealing with a primary, bro. We don't need him to show us shit. We're dealing with a broken down primary in these little slides right here that's giving us. Nice.
I know that, but even if he pull anything he pull up, don't say Africa, bro.
What slave owner in Florida?
Nothing from him.
What slave owner in Florida?
We don't need nothing from him.
What slave owner in Florida?
Here we go. Attempting. Are we going right there? Okay.
No, hold on. No. Not yet.
All right.
Not yet. Because he's trying to move us off the point. Now he asking us what slave owner was in Florida. So, all right, let's run it back. Let me take you back to the beginning. Let's take you back to the beginning because we was on our way. We was on our way to Fort Negro. We was finna get ready to beat up your whole little black Moses. We was finna get into. We was finna beat your whole shit up, bro. That's why I was finna get to Fort Negro so we can beat your shit up. We was finna beat your shit up. We finna beat your shit up. We finna beat your shit up. That's what we was trying to do. We was finna beat your bullshit up. So again, one more time, right here. What does it say right here?
What county in Georgia was by Fort Negro?
What?
Here we go.
Counties over there.
Early years. Shout out to you, Turtle Gang. Shout out to you, Turtle Gang. The early years of John Horse chart the emergence of Black Seminoles and the escalation of their conflict with the United States. Resisting American slavery, the Maroons formed a fascinating partnership with the Seminole Indians, adopting aspects of Indian culture and fusing it with African tradition. Hold on. See that again? Adopting aspects of Indian culture and fusing it with African traditions. African traditions. I know you don't like that word, but it is. African traditions, the name of African, you just can't stand it. Life in Florida was far from idyllic, right? But in comparison with Southern style slavery, it was a form of a paradise from the year of John Horse's birth. However, paradise was under threat as American slaveholders looked south with anger. The Americans were led by the most powerful man of the era, General Andrew Jackson.
Hey, so hold on real quick, because you did a lot of gum bumping. So I'm going to take you back right here. We're going to click right back on John. We're going to come right back right here. And then we finna get into this. All right, because I understand that you have a hard time reading and you like pictures, right? You one of the guys that like pictures, right? You gotta see the pictures, right? You gotta see it. It's just something about you in a picture. Because you don't read this right here. You just look at the picture. You're not gonna read the description. But see, we ain't on your type of time. So this says the Spanish colonial black militia. As early as 1689, African slaves fled from British America to Spanish Florida. We told you this earlier in another source. You didn't want to listen? We're going to keep it up. Here's the Black Loyalists. It just keeps on going on and on and on and on. Oh, let me go back. Let me zoom in. What is this? What is this picture right here? Oh, what is that? What does that say? In 1812, John Horse was born in the lush region known as Payne's Prairie. So we know where the fuck he was born at.
Oh, you ain't showing that picture yet. We don't see that picture yet.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Here we go. It says in 1812, John Horse was born in the lush region known as Payne's Prairie on the Alachua Savannah in central Florida, named for the Indian leader King Payne. The prairie had been the cradle of Seminole and Black Seminole communities from the earliest days. Man.
Since you like pictures, this is the person. Look what it say right here about this person right here. Oh, I guess they black with the dreads, huh? I guess he black with the dreads, huh?
Those are feathers. What do we have?
What this say?
Okay, here we go. So throughout John Horse's youth, Black Seminoles separate, Black Seminoles separate, well-armed Black communities. Black Seminoles lived in separate, well-armed Black communities. Many individual Blacks were considered slaves of the leading Indian chiefs, like the principal chief. You're going to say, what is it again? McCoffany? What is it? Micanopy, right? McCoffany, right? Micanopy. I don't know why I fucked this word up.
Micanopy.
Oh, Micanopy. Okay, Micanopy. There we go. Micanopy. And yet the Blacks were able to retain firearms, live apart from their masters, and select their own leaders. Observers in the 1820s and 1830s described Seminole slavery as a mild system much closer to feudalism than the South's peculiar institution. The system would change in later years, creating serious conflicts between Blacks and their Indian masters. Vino, how's that working out for you, bro? How's this working out for you? You like them sources, bro?
Ain't working too well for V Knox. Ain't working well for V Knox. They go Negro 4. They go to Negro 4.
Here we go. Slave kidnappers. Oh, here we go. Slave. Here goes Florida Savannah, 1834. Smithsonian. Here, despite the you're gonna write this on the picture first. Okay, despite the adversaries. Despite the adversities of the period, many Black Seminoles carved out prosperous lives as tribal interpreters, hunters, and agriculturists. Visitors to their settlements described abundant crops, livestock, and plank homes that were considered superior to those of the Indians. Vino.
Yo, you dumb, bro. You know, you so dumb, bro, that you don't even know who you're dealing with. You just start running. Oh, here go, yo.
Oh, hell yeah! No, go back to that. Go again. Go back to that. Abraham Black Seminole.
Yeah, well, this your boy right here, ain't it?
Oh no! Here we go.
You thought it was a game, nigga? I wasn't done with you. Nigga. I'm finna show you everybody of African descent, nigga. I wasn't done with you. Nigga. Look at him.
Engraving by
Go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth. Come back. Go brush your teeth. Come back and get this knowledge.
That gold grill gonna rot your teeth.
Come back and get this knowledge. Now I'm on Negro Abraham. What's up now? I'm in your backwoods now.
By taking women children.
By taking women children now. You don't get this information.
By taking women, children, and Blacks women, children, and blacks as hostages, and by burning settlements like that of black Seminoles. Leader Abraham Jessup convinced the Seminole allies to negotiate for peace. In March of 1837, Jessup and Abraham brokered a deal, but quickly became controversial. All right.
We ain't done.
Keep
We ain't
going.
done, you sucker. We ain't done, you sucker. Huh? What does say right
Oh, we got Osceola. Osceola.
What does say right here?
Alleged location of Osceola's capture, photograph, indeed, Florida photographic collection in May of 1837, when Osceola, John Horse, and other leading militants learned of General Jessup's secret plans to recapture fugitive slaves who had escaped during the war. They staged a mass escape and broke the peace treaty. Then, in one of the most infamous acts of early American history, Jessup captured Osceola under a white flag of truce. John Horse was taken prisoner at the same time. Vino.
Hey, bro, you just over there running off at your mouth. You need to be listening to this knowledge, because I'm not done with you, bro.
You being nice, right?
I am not done with you. Peep game.
Here we go. Entrance to Fort Marion. Here we go. The photography of Cooley, 1861 to 65, Library of Congress. Jessup held John Horse, Osceola, and the leading Indian chiefs as prisoners in Fort Marion, the strongest fort in Florida, known to the Spanish and known again today as Castillo de San Marcos. Faced with desperate circumstances with their resistance dying, John Horse and his allies dreamed of the impossible, then achieved it, staging a daring escape to renew the war. Woo. We know.
So now we know where John Horse was at. So what I'm trying to say is, we dealing with primary information, bro. You want to sit here and bump your gums, but you ain't know nothing about none of this.
Here we go. Battle of Lake Okeechobee. It said engraved in 19th century architect and historic conservancy. Now here we go. Fought Christmas Day, 1837, the largest battle of the Second Seminole War, proved climatic for John Horse and the black holdouts. For his alleged victory, U.S. Commander Zachary Taylor won a promotion and his first taste of national glory on the long road to the presidency. John Horse won obscurity and freedom. All right.
Just listen. Quit talking, you know. You can't get this information if you're running off at your mouth while the teacher's teaching. You need to be quiet.
He said, John Henry Course, he said, he definitely teaches. He said, what did he say again? He said he doesn't debate his.
Read the screen. Quit talking. Yeah, I only debate my equals.
Every artist he teaches. Yep. John Horse for John. After his surrender, John Horse briefly moved west, but then returned to Florida to enlist as an interpreter and scout for the U.S. Army, without allegiance to the remaining Indian militants. He joined other black warriors and even leading Indians, accepting cash payments to cooperate with the U.S. As a popular hunting guide and scout, John Horse won the admiration of many officers and entered American military lore. We know.
Get this information, bro. Get this information, bro. You ain't what you think you are, bro. Why do we know so much about John Horse, huh? This why.
Seminole captive painting by Eastman, 1841. John Horse duties including assisting with the capture and surrender of the leading militant still at large. The Indian chief Kokuchi, right? Kokuchi or Wildcat, though John Horse aided in the action, he and Kokuchi remained lifelong friends. Out west, they would form a crucial alliance. Yo, Vino.
Bro, we just, you know what I mean? If it ain't one thing, it's another, bro.
Man, this
Like,
you
I
getting beat
don't even
now.
know what Vino doing here, bro. He getting beat up. He getting his ass just
Put up the
mollywopped.
white flag, bro. You should put the white flag up for real. This is
Look
ugly.
at this. This was so funny though. Look at this right here. This is the funny part. Did you know? Vino, did you know this?
The Guerrero type Bob. There we go. Okay, let me go to faced with increasing threats to the freedom of his people. John Horace twice traveled to Washington. There he and Kokuchi sought and received the aid of their former enemy, General Jessup, who brought the cause of the Seminole allies before Presidents Tyler, 1844 to 45, and Polk, 1845 to 46. We know.
John Horace went to the White House twice, nigga. You didn't know that. We giving facts about John Horace, bro. This is how we know who he was, what he was doing, what he had going on. He ain't nothing. He wasn't nowhere near what you was trying to make him out to be. He was trying to make the man be some shit he never was, nigga. Then he runs down to Mexico. He went down to Mexico because he wasn't having his way no more.
So let's go. Here we go. 1849, facing threats of disarmament and enslavement, John Horace and the Black Seminoles stage a mass escape from the Indian Territory to Mexico,
Say that
where
again.
slavery had. Here it goes. So in 1849, facing threats of disarmament and enslavement, John Horace and the Black Seminoles stage a mass escape from the Indian Territory to Mexico, where slavery had been outlawed. Let me repeat this again. 1849, facing threats of disarmament and enslavement, John Horace and Black Seminoles staged a mass escape from the Indian Territory to Mexico, where slavery had been long outlawed. The Black fugitives crossed to the freedom in July of 1850, joined by traditionalist Seminole Indians under Kokuchi. They were welcomed by the Mexican government as border guards on the frontier. Vino.
Oh, we not. Oh, bruh, you getting beat the fuck up, bro.
This is ugly.
Source after source. You said you like pictures, but this is why you read the description of the pictures so you don't look stupid out here running off at your mouth. So let's deal with it.
Turtle Gang. Yeah, Sean got that. He said his direct sentence got documents and stuff like that. Sean already know about that. You're talking about John Horace direct descendants.
Right. That's how we get the information from his direct descendants. Who you claim that you talk to. Be not. I thought you talked to these people. How do you think we get this information?
Woo. In 1882, in the last act of his life, John Horace set out for Mexico City to see the Mexican dictator Porfirio Diaz and secure the Black Seminole land grant at Nacimiento. John Horace died in the pursuit, but a lifelong dream was realized. So,
yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm getting tired of beating your ass up. Look at this.
You beating a dead horse.
Look at this. Who is this person?
Oh, John Jefferson. Ooh, his grandson.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
John Horace's heirs and followers settled in Nacimiento, Mexico, Kenny County, Texas, where descendants still live to this day. Black Seminoles continued to serve as scouts until 1914. Though their history was almost forgotten, their accomplishments echoed throughout American history. Were the Black Seminoles American heroes? Whoa, Vino, that was painful. That one was real painful right there. Sean, you blindsided him with that shot, Sean. You blindsided. Yeah, he on the floor. He can't get up. He can't get up.
He shouldn't open his mouth when he talk to me no more.
That was devastating. Vito, I thought you said where his family didn't say nothing. That's his family right there. They even got a picture of his family. Vito?
Oh man. Do not talk to me no more. You see this on the screen right now?
Yep.
Okay. Don't talk to me no more. Don't talk to me no more, bro. Don't talk to me no more, bro. You said go get the records, go get this, go get that, nigga. I just showed you his fucking grandson, nigga.
Damn, that was painful.
You running your mouth, nigga. I just showed his grandson.
Wow. Shout out to you, Sutek.
Beating your sucker ass up, nigga. Nah, you can't even read. You talking about what a document said? What a document said, nigga? You ain't even got a picture of his grandson. I just showed him a picture of his grandson. What you got? Oh, where your sources? Still wait on your sources.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
I'm gonna beat you up on here, and then when I see you in real life, I'm gonna smack shit out of you. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you when I see you in real life. Just because you was being hard-headed ass nigga and didn't want to read and listen, I'm gonna smack shit out of you. I'm gonna smack some sense. Hey, you remember when your mama told you when you was a kid, I'm gonna smack some motherfucking sense upside your head? I'm gonna smack. Look at this dummy. I want everybody to see this. I'm gonna smack some sense into your motherfucking bald-headed ass, nigga. Yeah, I bet you won't get it wrong next time. I bet you won't get it wrong next time. Yeah, I bet you won't. I bet you won't get it wrong next time. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you saying, I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. Cali just beat you up reading the shit. All I did was just provide the information, and Cali you just got body blow, bro. You just got body blow.
That shit was painful. The last one, bro, that was cruel. That was a slow death with the big shot at the end. That was cold-blooded. That was the definition of working the body and finishing up top with the headshot.
Because you like pictures.
Damn. That was painful. God damn. Vino, you should have never
Man, don't even open your mouth no more. Don't open your mouth no more, bro. Just sit back and shut the fuck up. All the way. Because you don't know what you're doing, bro. You just be on here just running your mouth. You don't know nothing about nothing. You don't.
Nigga, how you still running your mouth though after all this shit though? You should shut the fuck up. You already land on the mat, bro. You didn't even get up at count. You didn't get close. You didn't even get close to getting up at the count of 10. You still on the mat. The match over. You so punched right now. You so punched that you still think you fighting. This shit ugly. Here we go. We got more. Okay. The rebellion from 1835 to 1838 in Florida, the Black Seminoles, the African allies of Seminole Indians. Let me repeat this again. From 1835 to 1838 in Florida, the Black Seminoles, the African allies of Seminole Indians, led the largest slave rebellion. Let me repeat this again. From 1835 to 1838 in Florida, the Black Seminoles, the African allies of Seminole Indians, led the largest slave rebellion in U.S. history. The uprisings peaked in 1836 when hundreds of slaves fled their plantation to join rebel forces in the Second Seminole War, 1835 to 1842. At the height of the revolt, at least 385 slaves fought alongside the Black and Indian Seminole allies, helping them destroy more than 21 sugar plantations in Central Florida, at the time of the most highly developed agricultural regions in North America. Amazingly, one would hardly know any of this from the country's textbooks. For over 150 years, American scholars have failed to recognize the true size and scope of the 1835 to 1838 rebellion. Historians have focused on the Indian warriors of the Second Seminole War in 1835 to 1842, with some attention to the Maroon fighters, the Black Seminoles, but almost none to the plantation slaves. The omission fits a general pattern in American history. In a trend of dating back to the country's earliest national histories, scholars have tended to downplay all incidents of slave resistance. Contemporary scholars may believe they have overcome this legacy, and yet their failure to identify the country's largest slave revolt speaks to the contrary. V note, again, man. This is, bruh. Just give up, bro. Wave the white flag and become a student. Become a student. It's better off for you that way. You trying to push back with nothing. You got nothing. If you have something, you show it. Every time you provide any type of information, it actually supports us. Every time you've shown something, whether it was with me and Sean, whether it was with me and Vyasa, whether it was with you and Sean, whether it was you and Not a Coincidence, whether it was Sean and Not a Coincidence, whether it was whoever. Every time you go up on Cuba, they debunk you. Everybody you go to whoop you with your own shit. So now you don't bring sources no more because every time your sources have smacked you in the face. Now you're getting destroyed by Sean with primaries. I guess you like beatings or something, bro. That shit weird. you are a bludgeoning tool, bro. You are a human punching bag. He said, "Was it fake news exist?" He said, "Nah, bro. Vino is the it's the Machi people through the downtown." Anyways, God, good blessings to the panel. For sure. Shout out to you, Turtle Gang. Shout out to you, Sutek, Public Enemy One. Vino, y'all know you still popping off at the mouth, and Sean's still showing shit. I mean, he just kicking it. He just really beating a dead horse now. Really beating a dead horse. Everybody you name, you got pull up bow legs. Pull up bow legs on him because he loved claiming bow legs. Pull up bow legs on his ass too. Let's read this real quick. Throughout the annals of American history, much of the role African Americans has been seriously neglected or misrepresented by historians. The Seminole War is no exception to this rule. While defiant Indian leaders, hold on, let me get back to this. Defiant Indian leaders like Osceola and Billy Bowleg, Billy Bowlegs have become well known. While defiant Indian leaders like Osceola and Billy Bowlegs have become well known and famous for fighting historically against the might of the United States Army, other key leaders have been ignored. This negligence of important resistant leaders has been the greatest in regard to those war chiefs who were not Indian but black. Indeed, one of the most forgotten but most important leaders of the Seminole War was the fiery and capable John Horace, who was African American. John Horace first appears in the pages in American history as a result of an amusing incident that occurred in the Florida Territory during October 1826 at Fort Brooke near present-day Tampa, Florida. Blue-clad soldiers of the 4th United States Infantry first met a young man who they would never forget. Okay, you gotta scroll up, John. Here we go. John Horace, or Juan Cavallo, Spanish lineage, was not only indicated by Horace's proper name, but it was also showed that he had been a slave owner by a part Hispanic Indian master in Florida. Certainly, it was not the physical appearance of the young John Horace that first impressed the West Point educated and blue-blooded officers of one of the Republic's best infantry regiments. Indeed, in 1826, John was a member of the Seminole tribe, and 14 years of age, he was gangly, thin, long-legged, and looked somewhat sickly. Hardly could the United States officers stationed at Fort Brooke Imagine that one day this unpromising African American, once again, this unpromising African American will become a formidable adversary and a highly skilled military leader who could not be defeated on the battlefield. Despite appearances, the personal characteristics which most distinguish John Horace at Fort Brooke were his intelligence, savvy, cunning during this period, right? During this period, members of the Seminole tribe often sold turkey venison and whooping crane, which had been trapped or shot in their forests and swamps, to the United States garrison at Fort Brooke. By this method, members of the garrison supplemented their routine diets of poor quality rations with fresh meat. For the United States, soldiers, including many recent immigrants from Europe, the tortoise or gopher was considered the best tasting natural cuisine on the mess table from the Florida wilderness. John Horace knew as much. He consequently embarked upon a vigorous, right? Scroll up. Here we go. Sorry. Oh shit, here we go. Vigorous hunt through the pine woodlands along Tampa Bay for the turtles that burrowed deep in the sandy soil. John's band of Seminole had visited Fort Brooke during the fall of 1826. Young Horace and his people were from the picturesque Lake Thonotasi or Thonotasa area just to the northeast of Tampa Bay. At this time, these African Americans and Seminoles, making a distinction, were safely out of harm's way, or the path of the relentless white encroachment. One balmy autumn day, the long-legged, laughing Negro boy named John Horace brought two of the highly coveted turtles to the officers' quarters at Fort Brooke for sale. A deal was quickly struck. John Horace walked away from the profitable transaction with $0.25. Here at quiet Fort Brooke, John had a close look at the institution of slavery in the antebellum world of white Americans when the officer's black cook took the turtles and placed them in a small holding area to fatten them up before slaughter. For the next 10 days, John repeated the process each morning, bringing 2 turtles to the fort, striking a deal, and walking away with money. The business arrangement with the same United States officers netted John Horace a total of $2.50 in only a week and a half, which was a fantastic sum in 1826 for a young and poor Negro Seminole in the wilds of the untamed Florida. At the end of the 10 days, the officer ordered his slave named Andrew to evaluate the condition and the number of turtles in the pen. By his own estimation, the soldier expected his supply to have swollen to 20 turtles, but Andrew was thunderstruck to discover only 2 reptiles in a small pen of fence rails and covered in brush to screen them from the hot sun. Finally, United States soldiers began to brush to screen them from from the hot sun. Okay. Finally, United States soldiers began to whatever that Manny sign like that is coded up. Okay. Brush to screen them from those that suspect that they had become a victim of John's shrewdness. Indeed, he had been reselling the same 2 turtles for 10 consecutive days after slipping past the guards into the Fort Brooke in the blackness. He had taken the reptiles for 10 consecutive nights to resell them for the following day. The enraged officer, perhaps a West Pointer and probably Southern born, immediately dispatched his orderly outside the fort to apprehend Master John. Finally, the teenager was found. John was escorted back to Fort Brooke. Inside the army installation, he was threatened with a whipping like a common slave on a deep South cotton plantation. To avoid such fate, the Spunky John explained his clever installation. Right? He was threatened with it. Oh, so I sorry about that. He was threatened. Hold on, start again. What clever? Sorry about that. Clever. Okay, South cotton plantation to avoid. So here we go. It was a ruse to an audience with a considerable wit. Yeah. The human spice confession raised much laughter among the garrison. Now I kept reading the same. The garrison, indeed, through the fort, John Horse's accomplishment resulted in much amusement, and the joke pinned one soldier, unintimidated even when guilty. The ill-looking black youngster had one friend with his personality and winning ways. Therefore, no punishment took place. John Horse was released to rejoin his freedom, his free-spirited people. Hold on a second.
Free-spirited people in an unspoiled
country. I got a call. Sorry about that. It's free-spirited in an unspoiled country that was still their own. He had earned the nickname of Gopher John among the white community and garrison at Fort Brooke, as no one could imagine Gopher John would become a fierce leader of a disparate, hard-fighting band of ex-slaves and Negro Seminoles, who would play a key role in inflicting upon the proud 4th United States Infantry its worst beating on the battlefield in only 11 years.
Man, we ain't even gonna give him no more.
Yeah, that was to show you how intelligent he was early on.
Yeah, Vino disappeared.
Yeah, or he disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared again.
Oh, he ran.
Yeah, like the punk ass nigga that he is. So I want to show you something, Vino. I know you're gonna watch this. Here you go. All the sources. We're getting the information from somewhere. Who are we getting the information from? John Horse, who you lied on. And you even lied on this other dude.
You lied on Billy Bowlegs.
Yeah, I want to make this quick. So I want to show everybody Billy Bowlegs. He say he related to this dude. Look at this dude. This is Billy Bowlegs. Now y'all seen V-Note on here. Now,
yeah, come on, it's a Native American, man. They don't look nothing like us.
That's Billy Bowlegs.
They don't look nothing like us. Look nothing like no black man. Black people don't look like that. Lying. He be lying on these people and just lying, making up shit. But tonight, Vino, you got embarrassed. You should just stop. You not related to him either. He ain't related to none of these people. None of these people. He just know that they're historical figures, right? And so he just tried to claim them. Ain't none of these people in your family tree. Ain't none of these people in you ain't related to none of these people. Not one. This was ugly. And you quit because that shit was painful. You should have stopped lying. Just stop lying. You know you're not related to none of these people. At all. You just made that shit up.
Wave the white flag. Like the Seminoles did.
Remember that song? She's a runner, she's a track star. I should say, but he's a runner, he's a track star. He gonna run away when it gets hard.
He listening though. He was listening though.
course he was.
He talked all that shit.
Now he was really done after you showed John Horse's grandson. He was like, fuck.
I know it was done. But I wanted to show him how personal this shit is. Like, people ain't making up shit about John Horse.
Nah, he was sitting there lying. He just saw a name. He saw famous people from Florida and decided to claim it. That's all he did. That's what Abos do all the time. Whenever you look at their family tree, like I said, I saw this one dude named Gottlieb on TikTok. This nigga had, I'm serious, everybody in this nigga family was a chief. I said, nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. It don't even work that way. Everybody a chief, nigga? Stop. Everybody in his family chiefs. And the family tree going back to some time, but ain't nowhere in the world you will be able to trace back family into the fucking 800s, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody.
Don't
ever challenge me no more. Ever in your life. Ever in your life. Stay in a child's place. We out this bitch.
Peace.
How the fuck y'all find an African in my fucking family, but
Y'all
y'all ain't
by
find
his
y'all?
own genealogy.
Shut the fuck up. That don't make sense, for one. Listen, y'all don't know what y'all did.
I feel like you standing on business.
Y'all lied on me, because y'all won't even know if that's me. And if y'all can trace that shit back to it's me, it's only 2 people in YouTube that got my information.
Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of this track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us honestly. You ain't a Cherokee, nope. You ain't a Chickasaw, nope. You ain't a Blackfoot, nope. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an Abos slipping with his genealogy. Now he's a con and I ain't talking about a singer. I'm coming for the top Abo leader. He ain't a teacher, he's a preacher. He can't keep up, so we leave him. Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of the track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us possibly. You ain't a Cherokee, no. You ain't a Chickasaw, no. You ain't a Blackfoot. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an Abos slipping off his genealogy. Now he's a con. OTK. TKO. Now he's a con. OTK. You died. TKO. Genealogy.